Right, today we're going to do a study in drawing arrows that rotate around the centre. Little bit about it, we use again 3 axes of space, and also we use ellipses again. So instead of doing arrows that are pointing out from a 3 axes, we're going to use an ellipse. So we're going to draw our standard ellipse, and we're going to get this arrow to rotate around this centre. So what I've got to basically draw is another cylinder, or another ellipse I should say, so I can give my arrow a sense of thickness. Also I want to find out where the centre of my arrow is as well, so I'm going to do another line. So I've got 3 ellipses, so this is going to be the centre of my arrow, this one here, and these are the extremities of my arrow. So basically the first thing to do is pick a path, and what we're going to do basically is like a ribbon, I suppose you could say. And so in this case I'm going to use my 3 axes as a reference, just because it's a lot easier to, or if I wanted to I could pick any one along here. But I'm going to start the tail of my arrow here, so because it's a tail I'm going to give it thickness. So this is the inside of my arrow. So it's got thickness. Okay. My ellipse. So there's the thickness part of my arrow. Now I'm going to work out where exactly it's going to start the little pointer part. So in this case I'm going to make this the very apex of my pointer, and then the arrow is going to go up to a point where it's going to finish, and then I'm also going to make it a bit wider because the head of the arrow is a little bit bigger than the actual body of the arrow. Just finish that one off there. So this here is the body of the arrow, so that's the ribbon, and my head of my arrow has got to be a little bit wider than that. So in this case I'm going to make it fairly short, so this is the longest part, and there's the centre, and there's the bottom of my arrowhead, bottom, so that's that part there. Looks like I'm going to have to extend it a little bit, but remembering that it still has to follow the surface or the outside surface of my ribbon. So in this case up, down, and the bottom part is just curving up. Now here's the ribbon part of the arrowhead, so I'm just going to line it in. And because of the way it's facing, you can sort of see here that we can only see a little bit of the top, but we can't see anything underneath. And this part here of the ribbon we can't see behind there at all either. So that's that part there. We can start lining it in to make more sense of it. So I'm just going to use a straight edge again just to sharpen things up. So that's the inside of my ribbon. That's the outside. So lining up. Arrowhead to the centre, up, so that's following on from this part, curve around a little bit, but you can see now the path of the arrow. And then of course we could just line it in just to give it a little bit more shape or highlight In this case, just going to put a bit of a highlight here on this side, a bit of a highlight here on that side, just to show that there's an inside of it. And on the outside here, because curved surfaces never have generally, they always have flat lines, so same thing here. Just going to put a few diagonal lines, get rid of that silly line I put there. And at the tighter the curve generally, the closer the lines together, and as the curve goes around, they get tighter. So we can start to show our arrow. Now obviously, if you think about it, we could start doing the same thing here and doing another arrow following our original ellipse. So you can see the beginnings of that arrow going around. We can do the same thing again.